Often there are clips of old videos from the past that describe the Israeli-Palestinian conflict from 30, 40 years ago, and they're exactly the same. And you almost feel like it was a video that was recorded yesterday. And this is another example of that. Young Netanyahu talking about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and why a Palestinian state is just not possible, and how it's, basically going to spell the destruction of Israel. Um, Relatively prophetic clip. So I would definitely tune in and share this message that's very relevant for today.
Is, though, having this state of almost civil war any better than having a Palestinian entity on your border where they're involved with sort of organizing their own community?
Leslie, we've experienced what happened when these territories were in Arab hands, and in fact, when the PLO was there in these very territories before the 1967 war. What they used it for is to launch a war of extermination against Israel. Now, suppose we followed this suggestion. Suppose we just walked out, which is what they would like. They'd like us to get out so they can get in to continue, as Arafat refuses to disengage from this program, to continue a war of extermination against us. So I think for two reasons. The fact that they're terrorists and the fact that they seek our destruction, I don't think they're a partner to negotiation.
Okay, Mr. Arafat says he would go along with a UN peacekeeping force between a Palestinian entity and Israel. Is that acceptable?
Well, we had one. We've had one before. The answer to your question, it's not. We had a UN force before 1967 in those territories. One day, Nasser and Arafat and the entire PLO leadership said, move out, and that UN force moved out and they used it to attack Israel. I think if you want to move towards peace, as we do, we've offered the Palestinian Arabs a comprehensive program. We offered the end of military government. We offered autonomy. We offered a complete rehabilitation of the camps. And on top of that, we offered negotiations for the final political settlement of these territories. The PLO has rejected every one of these proposals, rejected it, by the way, through the barrel of a gun, because any Palestinian Arab who wants to disengage from the PLO is threatened or intimidated or indeed murdered. So if you want to move towards peace, you're going to wait a long time until this PLO leopard changes its spots, and it's not going to do so. The PLO will veto peace in every way they can.
And if only he just used the same language today. Netanyahu has walked back a lot of his language about no Palestinian state, and it's possible, if we have a sort of UN governance and all this other bullshit. Young Netanyahu should be the one in charge right now, because he understood that, Palestinian state is impossible. The people that you're negotiating with are terrorists or corrupt, as in Mahmoud Abbas. But across the board, there's problems. And so I would say, again, these clips are insane because it seems like it's talking about today in 2024. For more, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to help us make more of these videos, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JewishUncensored.